Good evening, everyone, especially to our teacher, Ma'am Vanessa Pio. Good evening. Tonight we are assigned to make a talk show to discuss about the task analysis and strategies for the students who needs special care. Our subject is called Foundation of Special and Inclusive Education. By the way, I am Rizalino Disabili Jr., BTBT Electrical student, second year, regular class. About my co-members, they will introduce themselves after me.
Um, Good evening, everyone. I am Idris P. Sanchez, regular student, CTBT Electrical second year regular class. We are here to help students give strategies and techniques how to help students with disabilities. And the next to introduce the most lovable and handsome person. Go ahead.
Thank you, thank you. Hello everyone. Hello ma'am. I am Reynard V. Gumera Jr., second year college taking of BTBT major in electrical, and right now we're gonna be going to discuss on how we can teach the student with special needs. So first, let's start with Rizalino.
Okay, by the way, I am turning back. So, about the task analysis and strategies for the students who need special care. For me, so I think first we need to become familiar of those students who needs or who to those who students with disabilities, and then we need to use the parents. So we need to talk about the parents, what they're about the weaknesses or where they are strengthened of. So I think that's the good tips for or that's a good strategies to teach that student so that I know about the background of that student. And next is we need to be aware about the IEP. So IEP it means the individualized educational program. So it is used by the teacher so that they can know or I know about the improvements of the students after the end of the class. So I think that is a good strategy also. And we need to modify the environment, especially our classroom. If ever in the future I will be the one to teach of the students, so I will make some put some visual aids in the classroom so that I can attract the attention of the students. So then we need to focus on one small steps because it is a time that make it easier to the students to learn longer. So I think that step by steps are slow by slow so that they can learn or understand something from me. So I think that is my strategies for now. So I will give the floor to the next my to co-member.
For me, if I were a teacher someday, I will agree with the recent disability youth and visual aids or resources that have been prescribed. Example, glasses, magnifiers, print books. So, and also, to help the student with a visual impairment, make sure the light is suitable because it's hard for the student with a visual impairment without a light. And also make efforts to limit the risk of glare from the dish with whiteboard. And set the students appropriately in the classroom. Example, in the middle towards the front or from the back to the front. Next, find ways to communicate more effectively with the child. Don't talk while you turn away from the student, such as when you're talking around the room or writing on the board. And then reduce background noise as much as possible because students with a hearing loss they cannot understand with noises background. So next, help students engage with the rest of the class. Consider hearing assistant technology like speakers, etc. Additional tips: rephrase rather than repeat what you said. move a different environment, one with less background noise or better lighting. Use a simple sentences rather than complex, and one switch can be hard to follow. Last, make sure to speak clearly and slowly and a volume, natural volume. So that's all for my tips and strategies to help a student with a disability or hearing impairment. So next to explain, Mr. Gumera, go ahead.
Thank you, thank you. And for me naman, task analysis and strategy for student with special needs. For me, this is my way to teach my student someday if I could become a teacher with special disability students. First, as a teacher someday, we need to teach them some basic vocabulary so that they can prepare for upcoming content. Example, by giving them what is the spring, what is the meaning of spring, leaf, pig, horse, etc. Because special needs students are often behind grade level. So that's why we need to teach them some basic vocabulary for them to communicate us with that simple vocabulary. Like I mentioned earlier in my example. And second, this is my second thoughts, strategy to teach students with special disability. We need to provide repetition and practices because in younger grades, they need more actual performance, activity, and familiar routine so that those routine will be saved in their mind and will be part in their daily life as a student. And third, we need to provide visual aids because some special student with special disability, not of all can learn by what we say, what we teach them, because some of them will need some visual aids for them to learn. Like I said, because some students, especially those students who have special needs, they need to see more actual actual picture or visual aids in order for them to learn. Like in singing, some of our students they have we have some cases of those uh, students na they have special disability with hearing. So by playing some visual aids
Mhm.
in a computer or TV, so they can learn what you are going to teach them. Even that they can't hear, but with that visual aids, they can still learn. So that is the example. That's why we need to provide some visual aids. Fourth, teach them interesting things. Why? Because with this, when you teach them some interesting things, you can gain their attention because they will become more curious about the thing that you gave to them. Why? Because by giving them a curious, giving them interesting things, you can get their attention. You will become more focused on what you have to teach for them because they are curious about that thing that you want to teach them. For that, I think we can get their attention by teaching them interesting things. Example, for those students who have difficult, they have a difficult identifying what is color. So we need to teach them to by asking them in this object. Example, I'm holding an apple. In this object, what is this color? So by that, you can get the
Okay.
attention curious because some of them are not really know what is the color of that thing or this apple. Uh, Example, that's why by giving them some interesting things, you can get their attention also. Also, checking list. Checking list. Before we start the class, we need to call them, each one of them, for them to get example by calling their name. We After you call their name, they say present, and you will come for them and put them a mark on their hand, a signature that they are present on your class. With that, with that strategy, I think those students, they will more interested in your subject, because for the first day in class, before the start of the class, they will receive a gift.
Star.
What is called tatak. So that is and last, and for me, I think this is the most important as a teacher. As a teacher, we need to plan a behavior plans. We need to prepare some plans on how we can handle our students, so that we know how to handle those students who have a special disability. That's why this is for me, this is a very important thing as a teacher. As teachers, we need a plan on how we handle those students who have special needs. So that's all my strategies analysis on how to teach those students who have special disabilities. So you guys.
Additional, I forgot to discuss. First thing to do is in the first class, in the first day, we need to screen the screening test, so that we know who is the student have a hearing or vision impairment. So we need to screen the student first. My member.
So any additional about our topic? So I think this all strategies is all useful because of how it is important to teach every students have this disability or have impairment in hearing or vision or another aspects of their special needs. So I think this is most important. So, what do you think, Mr. Gomera? So you mentioned all about maybe it's 6 strategies. So, what do you prefer about your strategies? So, what is the most effective so that they can learn, but they can learn easy from that.
Regarding that, I think all of these strategies are important.
Yes, I know that is all important. My strategies, and your strategies, and your strategies. But what do you most prefer? So, if ever you will become a teacher someday, so you will be encounter that kind of student. So, how do you handle that students so they can learn from you?
Plan. We need to set a plan on how to teach them, because if you have a plan on how you can teach them, you can teach them accordingly for what they need, because you studied your student, you studied their behavior, what are their disabilities. By that, um by learning, or by learning their disabilities, you know how to teach them with their specific disabilities. That's why for me, behavior plans about about new students, that is my important.
Yes, I think I agree with that.
I agree.
But the most is maybe the most important is like Angel said that we need to have a screening about the students, so that from that situation, so we can know what is the problem about that student. So maybe from that part we can make some adjustment for our teaching plan or something, or what kind of strategies to be teach in that during situation. So what do you think, guys? So it is enough for us to end our talk show, or maybe some another additional. So
For me, no comment.
I think maybe that's
I agree with your strategies and techniques. I agree with
so
your.
the most important thing is we have strategies, and we talk about the content of that situation. So every one of us, we have different strategies on how to teach that kind of students. So for the teachers, like maybe we are become a future educator someday, so that is a very very hard to face, because we don't have any like uh, or special school for them. So in every students, maybe we will encounter about that problem. So maybe that's all for tonight. What do you think, guys? So
I think that's all.
I have some
You,
additional.
what you think, Gumera?
so say okay, go
I
ahead.
have some additional about so my additional is, if you have dedicated to teach them, so those strategies will come up in your mind, and more strategies will pop up in your mind if you are genuinely hard to teach them.
Okay, maybe you are talking about your passion to teach, something like that.
So for now, as we're still learning,
So
but someday if you become a teacher and we have a genuinely hard to teach them, I think more strategy will come in our mind for us to teach, to help them.
okay, that's good also. So I think we will finish this activity. So maybe we can say goodbye to each other. So
Thank you, thank you,
go,
thank you.
okay.
Thank you, classmates, and
Okay.
thank you, members.
This is
Thank you, Ma'am Ban.
This is our the end of our presentation. Especially to those who are listening, our colleagues. Thank you for your time, and especially to our teacher, Ma'am Vanessa Pio. This is a remarkable experience because it is our first try to have something like this. So thank you, Ma'am, for the experience. It is very challenging for us because in our schedule. So thank you for this kind of experience.
For me, all I can say, thank you, members who organized this presentation, and that's all. Good evening, and so forth. I can say good night.
Okay, thank you everyone. Thank you guys.
Guys,
Bye bye.
Good night.
see you, see you.